New Relic is a software analytics company. Our mission in life is to help the modern application developer understand how their application is servicing their customer, so the customer has an excellent experience. I think that apps on the App Store, Google Play, are starting to meet the expectations of the end users, but there's a long way to go. Many apps aren't used on the App Store. I think only about 40% of the apps that are up on the App Store actually get used. In addition, I think that many times the developers of those applications don't actually know if the apps are meeting the user's expectations. They don't have a good way to measure the performance of the apps, to measure what the customers are doing with the apps, and they may know when the app crashes or how many times the app has crashed, but that's not always the indicator that the customer is satisfied with the application. Sometimes you need to know, is the app behaving as expected? Speaking from personal experience, when the application doesn't work properly, or when it returns bad results, or when it's extremely slow, you get very frustrated. In the world of mobile apps, it's very easy to switch from application to application, to decide not to use an application. Even one that you bought, often they're only $1 or $2. There's not a lot of cost to the consumer to switch to a different type of application or a different application that does the same thing. The performance of the application becomes critical then. If the application is performing in the eyes of the customer, they're more likely to be satisfied, they're more likely to use that application on a long-term, ongoing basis. 3 significant problem areas for mobile app performance are the network, because the traffic that is going over the network, if the network is extremely slow, you lose performance of the app, or at least the perceived performance of that application. API calls are also a critical component of app performance in the mobile space. Many of these applications are making API calls to things like Facebook or Google or e-commerce type payment systems. And when those fail or those don't work properly, or they're slow, customers will get very frustrated. And then a third is the back-end systems. Many of these applications don't just exist on your mobile device, but they also exist in the servers at the companies that wrote those applications. When those servers aren't performing well, when the application code on those servers that supports the native mobile app aren't performing well, then the customer suffers. Since we launched the platform, we've had really just spectacular results. We've had many new plugins built by customers and by partners. Many of these have been deployed to our public app store called App Central, which you can find within our product. But far more, hundreds even, have been created that are private applications. Customers are using this to add visibility into 3 or 4, 5 or 6 different other components that are not application code, but that you need to see within the context of the application. Databases are particularly important, and when we launched the platform, we launched with a number of plugins for databases like MySQL, Microsoft SQL, and Azure SQL. And these are among the top performing plugins that we have in the program today.